Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of It's All Related. This week, it's me, Sonia Choquette, with my beautiful daughter, Sonia Tully in New Orleans. Hi, Son.
Hi, Mom. You're back. Sabrina and I held down the fort last week,
You
and
did.
I had to do the intro.
Yeah, good job. Yes, I got a bit buried in some work and travel, so thank God for you two. And I had a big adventure, and I'm back. Lots of adventures to talk about.
Yeah, I know. And one of those adventures, which was your new book that just came out, literally, we're recording this on Thursday, Tuesday. I'm
My
like,
new
at this
book
point,
came
it's so
out.
wild. You're
Yes.
so, you publish so many books. This one is really, really cool. So, was it Soul
Soul
Mastery?
Mastery, 22
That's
lessons
channeled by
to reinvent.
Joachim?
Yes, it's a Joachim channeled a book called Soul Lessons and Soul Purpose about 12 years ago. And then it came in that the world is changing so fast that this was sort of the next input, the next level. So it was something, it's really succinct and short and sweet and clear, and people seem to like it. And I learned a lot from it. So it was really exciting to do it.
Is for our listeners, just tell them who Joachim is.
Well, for our listeners, I've been connected with spirit guides my whole life, and I wrote about that even in my very first book, The Diary of a Psychic. I've had Rose, who's my one of my first guides, and Joseph and the Palladian sisters, just guides that have come through my life. But about, maybe it could be almost 20 years ago now, I was teaching in Kauai, and a group of light beings came in.
I was going to ask. So, yeah, I remember we would teach these, my mom, and we'd basically have spiritual summer camp.
We did a deep immersion called Translucent You, and it was a 2-week beautiful immersion. And every afternoon we had meditation and teaching, but then it turned spontaneously into these guides coming in, offering a channeled session.
I remember.
Introduced themselves. It was caught me by surprise. It was Joachim. He introduced himself as Joachim and the emissaries of the third ray, second octave of love. And so they started to teach how we are indeed creators, co-creators with the universe, and how to understand at what level of creator we are. Are we students? Are we apprentices? Are we journeymen? Or are we moving to mastery? On each level of learning, and there are 22 lessons we've come here to learn. And so it's really interesting.
It's a great book.
And plus it lets you know where you're making progress and where it's like quality control, where you're making progress and where you need to focus.
Yeah, like the often how I think about it is like the neutral definition of karma that isn't like you're going to do something and then it happens times 3, but just a check-in of what is so. What are the things what are we planting? How are we showing up? What's growing? This is like the temp check. But
it's almost it's almost when you get a credenza or something from IKEA that you have to put together, and here's the instructions, and you have to get every single one of them right for the thing to come together. And when you're putting something together,
thank God you have angels for that kind of help.
So, it's like, I got this and this and this right. What's wrong? And then you just learn, it's just this piece. So you don't have to go back to the beginning across the board. And that's what's really good about this book. It just helps you identify which elements of creative focus you might be overlooking, or maybe you're not exercising with the level of intent. So it's really quite good. It's sort of a what's wrong with this picture? Here's how to make it right book. So I think anybody who's read my books will find Soul Mastery a really refreshing and practical addition.
I mean, I love the library. I'm curious because my initial question asking is usually we have a little bit of a celebration, but since you were the channel, do you almost feel like you didn't, like you wrote it,
right?
But you didn't write it. So it was like a different sense of
It was a bit different. I felt like it was written
not like
to me.
detached, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was more the reader than the writer. I was the student asking the questions. It was a bit different. And then I went to the studio and they asked me to record it. And that was a bit trippy because I had the written of what they said, but then they wanted to just talk in the recording. So it was kind of like, okay, let's just do this all over again, live session. So
thank God you have practice, a lot of practice doing lives and video and teaching to be able to listen at 2 different channels at the same time. It's like taking reading while listening.
Yeah. It was learning to like rub my head and pat my belly at the same time. But I think I managed pretty well to stay grounded in the whole process. And I love to learn. It was another learning curve for me. And so, okay, my attitude, as you know, is let's do this instead of let's think about this. We'll correct what we mess up, but let's not think about it first, trying to avoid a mess. Let's make a mess and then do course correction after.
We'll figure it out. I mean, it's so wonderful. I feel so grateful to have this, just such a connected relationship with my spirit guides. And to be intuitively connected where it's like, then you're like, I have the whole crew. We got Joachim, we got emissaries of the third ray. It's like, I've got Peony, I've got Scout, I've got all these different friends. I mean, they're my friends. They're like
friends.
My best friends.
They're just as close as you and I across the airwaves. It's just a different, this is a horizontal airwave and that's a vertical airwave, but it's the same.
Totally. And the beautiful thing about the vertical airwave is I shared this last week on the pod real quick, but I'll share it with you because I haven't told you the story, is when I went dancing for Halloween and I brought a little cloth bag with me. And inside, because I was wearing this beautiful dress, I had put some kazoos that I was giving away along with a shawl that I was wearing. And the outfit that I was wearing bike shorts underneath. The pockets were like kind of inaccessible. So I changed from one venue to another and had a little wallet in there with stickers. And I put my ID and my credit card in this, zipped it up, put it in my bag, danced, tucked it away underneath into the way back of this bench. And, and I'm in a small place, it's not even that late. I come back and lo and behold, it's gone. It's gone.
Oh, Lord.
And I know where I put it. I knew where I put it. And so I'm scouring. It's nowhere to be found. It's getting late. And so at this moment, I'm thinking, all right, it's some kazoos and a shawl. Bummer. Somebody must have really needed it. Get in the car, head out, get home, and realize my ID and my wallet, my ID and my credit card. So the first thing I did, and this is also just a tool, like scan the energy. Do you ever do that where you just like scan?
Yes.
Just scan the field. Is it gone? Is it not gone?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it gone? Is it not gone? I'm not feeling that it's gone, but still it's like it had disappeared. Wait a few days, get home. My bestie Nahaya, shout out Nahaya, I love her, who was with me. She was like, I too don't feel like it's gone. And I was actually praying for you to find it. And I was in meditation this morning and I swear it's there. And I said, you know what, Nahaya, I think you're right. It is. So no phone number. I go over, I knock, walk in the front door. And first it is the bartender's birthday. And our bartenders here, one of the ways that they signal birthdays is you take a safety pin and you pin $1 on your shirt. So people give you dollars, but say happy birthday. So he's the only one there. Walk in and I'm like, hi, do you happen to have my bag? Lo and behold, this gentleman emerges with my bag with not only every single thing in it, overjoyed. Thank you, angels, thank him. But I'm like, wait, I think I have a gift for you. Dig into my bag and I have one kazoo left to give away. So I played happy birthday and then inducted him into the Kazoo Boo crew. And I was like, those were my angels and my guides. They recovered the bag, gave me birthday
Did someone
celebration.
find it and turn it in?
No, they didn't. I have
no idea.
No idea. Because here's the thing.
Returned.
The space that I was the size of my living room. Isn't that big?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just was one of those things that was out of this world, but I knew. Thank you.
Oh, don't you love to put your guides on it and bring you back? Good job. And, you know, that's a good lesson, everybody. Scan the field. See if, does this feel gone? Does it feel around? You know, the other day, Sabrina and I were walking back from the store. And there's what they call in London the high street. It's a small group of shops. It's like a villagey feeling. You've got your fresh grocer and your butcher
florist,
and your coffee shops. It is literally a block away. So we were out for a walk, walked around the block, and then I tweaked my knee. Don't know how, but I went to the high street with her and I got a knee brace just so it wouldn't go worse. And we were walking back and she said, we should go home now. And I got really in my head for a moment. I said, I just want to go around the block one more time because I knew that I didn't want to sit as much as I had been sitting.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, you're right, but let's just go one more time. So we walked another half a block. And Sabrina was already feeling, she goes, I really feel like we should go home. And then within 3 minutes, someone snuck up behind us and between us and put his hand in Sabrina's pocket to steal her phone. It was so bold. But she was on high alert. Now, this was between the two of us. We both had umbrellas. Put his hand between the two of us into her pocket, and she spun around so fast. I never even heard him. She spun around so fast, and she screamed, no, bloody murder, and a whole lot more things. But this guy, he dropped the phone.
Beep, 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 beep,
he was
beep.
stunned. He was with another guy. There were two of them. Stunned. And she was so loud that everybody came coming out of the houses. And she said, I felt it when I was on the high street. I felt we were something was off, which is when I said, let's go home. We'd only walked in maybe another 20 feet. And this guy looked panicked. He had not expected, first of all, to get caught, but let alone get caught by Sabrina on a rampage. She chased him.
I love my sister.
They skedaddled like rabbits and freaked out rabbits. They skedaddled so fast. But the thing that was interesting is she said, my guide told me, go home. And so I was already like feeling the vibe, feeling the energy of somebody. She goes, I knew from the minute we got off the high street, and literally we're talking walked 1 block. So long.
And you have to also, for our listeners, really quick, to understand that my family lives in a very quaint, like quiet neighborhood. Imagine just
village, just like a quiet village,
tiny little village suburb. It's
right.
Moms, it's dad. It's not even that populated.
People walking dogs. We know the neighbors. Everybody came out running. But Sabrina's like, get out of this neighborhood. Do not come back. And I really doubt they will.
No.
Everybody ran out.
No.
Everybody a bunch of people saw them. And Sabrina took boxing for a decade. She is not the one to mess with. Well, you're not either. You also did.
No. But Sabrina was particularly skilled. She's brilliant. And not only skilled energetically. Sabrina's so attuned and so sensitive, but she is a force. And I laugh because that is such a Sabrina story of like energetically, like the princess and the pea, where she will detect. It's like the princess and the atom. That's
the atom. She will detect the atom. And
she will.
And then the other guy that was with her kept pointing to the ground, going, "You got your phone. You got your phone. Don't hurt us. Don't hurt us." It was very. And of course, she started screaming. The minute she started screaming, no, I started screaming without even knowing what I'm screaming about. But we turned around, he was literally a foot from us. And he was so stunned, he froze. And then Sabrina went after him. They got away. But your guides will protect you if you pay attention and say out loud what you're feeling. If you feel something enters your field.
Yeah.
Say so.
And so. It's funny, as you're just saying, because, sometimes even with ourselves and our family, just as you were explaining, sometimes we get on our own thing. So even in our own psychic family, like Sabrina saying, hey, let's go home.
She said we should go home. And I said, you're right, we should. But I was trying to stretch my knee out. I said, I just want to stretch my knee, even though I was not saying we shouldn't.
No.
So sometimes
it wasn't contrary.
My mental state was stretch my knee, but her energy was right. It was so accurate. Yeah. And it was just, and it's interesting. I feel if you're present in your body, Sabrina's very present in her body and scanning. And she also had just checked her phone to see if the baby was okay, because she just wanted to make sure the baby was sleeping. So she had a little, checking with the baby monitor is on her phone too. So she said she also had mommy protection vibes in her head. The minute he was reaching into her pocket.
The visual cue, she was like, absolutely not. Absolutely
This guy was so stunned. I remember looking at his face. He literally was a foot from me. He looked terrified and froze and went. So anyway, the key is.
Well, what I'm thinking of, the image that I'm thinking of is when you're connected, but you're protected, we're connected and being attuned, sensitive. But when you have that, it's like, I imagine in those cartoons, when a bad guy comes and then maybe they put down a staff and there's a force field that kind of just repels everybody away, almost like Hollywood.
You can feel this guy was focused on, I'm going to get it. So she picked up on his focus on her.
Yeah.
And
because that is, it's tracking.
It's tracking. So, we really need, this is all the more reason when you are out in the world to be present. To not be not be checked out. Not be checked out.
I love that, because also within that it goes both ways. Like Sabrina, one of her having her angels and guides. That is a divine protection.
She had her
for
kung
being
fu
present.
guides pump out. Those kung fu guides take Sabrina over. She was going to take them down. She would.
Sabrina, we both grew, growing up in inner city Chicago. Sabrina and I would often talk if somebody ever approached her in any sort of manner that that made her feel unsafe. And I remember she was like, I would just go crazy. I would just crazy them to where they just said absolutely not. But it's funny because I know this and we've talked about this, and then to hear that it actually happened, I just want to be like, go Sabrina. Go, Sabrina. But
I was talking to her. I glanced away because we were talking to each other. It was raining. We had umbrellas. So I glanced away and looked back, and I see her looking at me going, no. And then I keep looking, and there's somebody 1 inch from us. Then I went, no. Just joining in. And
back up. We're to the two force fields.
10 people came out. 10 people came out on their front porches to see what the heck was happening. And it was really interesting.
It is.
Well, I felt like I said, Sabrina, I'm just so glad I know that nobody's going to mess with you. You are protected. So
100%. 100%.
Are you ready to experience a glorious life? One in which your intuition guides you in every single decision that comes your way, and you feel the constant support and assistance of your spirit guides and your angels watching your back, opening doors, pointing you in the right direction, and keeping you out of harm's way? And how about a life where you actually succeed in creating the life you want? Well, that is all possible if you sign up for my brand new first time ever masterclass, Your Glorious Life, a 6-week, life-changing, transformational journey teaching you how to trust your vibes, how to listen to your guides, how to connect, and make sure you create what you really want. Sign up now. The class begins October 20th, and I don't want you to miss out. The link is in the notes below.
Presence goes both ways. So just the other week, I was at the grocery store. I have a place here, Rouse's, and there was a new cashier. And I was checking out, and her energy was just like sunshine. Bright eyes, and, said hi, got my stuff, went along my way. Last night I went again because I'm making chocolate chip cookies for some friends. And lo and behold, it's 9 p.m., store is empty, and this beautiful spirit, Deandra, is right in front of me. And so I just start chatting with her. And in the same way, I just said, your spirit, I have to tell you, this is so bright. It just shines out through your eyeballs. It's wonderful. She smiles, she laughs. It just felt so good. And then her assistant who was helping her bag, Bonnie, who I also shout out Bonnie, she's like, you know what? It is. Her spirit is so, so, so bright. I always feel so lucky and privileged when I get to work with her. It is an absolute delight. And I'm just reminded of how when our spirit is in our body, when we're connected to our guides, when we're paying attention, it's like whether you have the language, like whether me and Bonnie have a shared language around intuition or spirituality or anything, we both got it.
Right. And the fact, and also that we do broadcast energetically. And when we are in our spirit and in our heart, our eyes do shine. Our skin light is bright and has an aura around it. We smile and we brighten up others. And that's part, like we're talking about spirit guides, but your own spirit is either an earth angel or lights out. You can actually turn on your own light and it'll attract. It'll raise the light around you and it will attract and allow you to receive more guidance as well. So that's another way to, people say, I'm never feeling guides. It's like, well, try to turn your own inner light on a bit, maybe, through just gratitude or listen to some good music you like or
feeding your spirit.
Just
like,
feeding
what
your
does
spirit.
Your spirit love?
Like I was just talking about that today on the community because I love when I need to go see some live entertainment every once in a while. So I went to a play today and I loved it. I just loved it. It was Elf. And then at the end, spoiler, if you're going to see it, Santa's sleigh goes in the sky and it starts snowing and I start crying. I mean, this is so sobbing. We're all sobbing. It's such a thing we do. Cry at the parade, cry at the event, but I felt that the spirit of Christmas for that particular play was actually in the room. And the inner child of everybody was just so happy and so surprised. And it was such a good you talked about this before in another podcast about effervescence, about the
collective effervescence.
Oh my God, it was off the charts and made me just, it just blew my circuits of, so much. I just started crying and it was like, I feel a little self-conscious, but thank God it's dark in the theater. It was like, well, this is joy, collective joy. And I will take it every time. I will open myself up to it every time.
Oh, I love being moved to tears, especially, joy and, just being moved to tears. What's funny is my partner, Lane's like a bit of an earth spirit. So we'll be watching something. Last movie I'm even recalling, I think it was like Casper. It was a silly Halloween movie. I mean, it wasn't even anything that was that consequential. Deep. Yeah, not at all. But just the moments of Casper being reunited and all these things. And my Pisces self wants to go on like full sob.
Yes.
And he's an earth spirit. So sometimes he'll just look over at me to check and see if I'm leaking.
If you're managing.
And I'm always like, leave it alone.
I know.
Like, it's just beautiful. But it's funny to have even for myself to be like, it's okay. No, it's good to cry. Sometimes it's okay to have like a full sob at Casper or Beauty and the Beast or those different moments. I mean,
those tears cleanse your body, and they are a release of stress and tension you may not even know, and your heart opens and you're flooded with good vibes. I went a couple weeks ago, I went to see another play. I'm kind of on a play kick. I love it. I went to see The Devil Wears Prada.
Cool.
And they did such a good job. And at the end, one of the characters ends up finding the love of her life and going off to Paris, even though she thought she had missed her moment. And I cried. And I thought, you're going to love Paris. I'm there. You're going to love it. It's like, I thought, thank God I'm at the theater by myself, because it wasn't even a cry moment. It was I was happy. And then I thought, then I got moved by all those people in that cast singing and dancing and pouring their hearts out for our entertainment. And I thought, you're all earth angels. Yeah. They were giving it their all for 3 hours. I thought, Jesus Louises, this is so generous of them to just be putting that vibe out. So, speaking of spirit guides, be around good vibes and know when you're around earth angels, and it opens the gateway to the higher frequencies.
Yeah. And even for the holiday spirit, I mean, this doesn't mean, as we're just entering into this season, because almost like the year's over.
I know, I can't believe it. It seems like it was just summer.
I know. It's like blink, and all of a sudden we are marching towards towards the holidays at a quickening speed. But as empaths, some of my clients and some of my mentoring, clients, and we're just talking about being apprehensive about being in the holidays and all this different overwhelm, and all of that can be true. Now, we've talked a lot about boundaries,
but definitely into that if you go into the third dimension of it and just make it work. But if you let it be the spirit of the inner child, go enjoy the lights, go have a hot cocoa or an eggnog. You don't have to make it a heavy deal. It can just be let your inner child have a little fun.
One of my tools that I always like to practice, and that I find really has a very high return of just what we're talking about, even with the spectrum, is just being present, being generous with your actual attention, like putting down the phone, putting down the busy thoughts and just sharing a moment, like whether it's beautiful Deandra, my Rouses, or a loved one, or a friend, or because what's so amazing is I feel like when you lead with that energy of just like being interested and present, even people who are busy around you or even in maybe more mental energy will entrain and drop in. And that's such a simple way to like spread joy and connection.
Right. You can actually do it intentionally. Just actually decide that today, as I'm out in the world, I'm going to turn on my inner light. You don't even have to be chatty Cathy. You don't even have to say anything. Just turn on your inner light and just broadcast bright light, good vibes. I love myself. I'm loving life. I love you. I hope you love yourself. You're beautiful. And watch how people respond to you differently. And it's measurable. You can do an experiment. In fact, I think that should be the tool of the week. Is to be an earth angel for a week. Turn on the lights, channel the spirit.
That reminds me of Nana Choquette. Nana, your mom. Nana Sonia.
Wasn't it her all the time?
All the time. She loved to go to the mall and loved to walk the mall and loved to go to, was it Neiman Marcus? Where they have lunch?
That was her favorite.
We would walk the mall.
Never bought anything. Tried it all. Tried the perfumes. Tried the lipstick. But she mostly loved to talk to the salespeople and just tell them how wonderful they were.
And I'd see her do it all the time. Of just something. I remember just this couple, couple in their 50s coming with me. And I was like, just in their 70s. And she just stopped in her tracks and was just like, wow. Now, you look so handsome. You look beautiful. And then even this joking exchange, surprised. Even though she was deaf, she just would, she would surprise people and just like sprinkle good vibes. And what was funny is, as her granddaughter, there are moments where, I feel like this happens with any kid and parent like wrap it up or taking too much of their time, like I'm being impatient, like, come on, Nana. But she would end up just having these like conversations and genuinely she'd be the one that say, I have to go.
Yeah, she would.
Here I'm having my own overlay and it's not true at all.
They loved her. She just walked the mall and made everybody feel good.
And her bond.
I remember there was this one guy in the mall who had a sunglasses kiosk. And she would come and she'd say, oh, these are so beautiful. Everyone, I wish I could wear every one of them. I mean, these are just cheap sunglasses, right? She goes, you must be so proud to stand here by these beautiful sunglasses.
Oh,
And he said, well, I am now. I remember the guy said, I wasn't feeling that way a few minutes ago, but I'm willing to change my attitude now that you mention it. And it was funny. And she's deaf, so she didn't hear half of the comments. But people were really surprised at such a blast of good vibes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Big blast of warm, loving, innocent, no agenda.
No, genuine. Genuine. Those sunglasses are beautiful. You are proud to stand and, it's not lip service. And that's when you're connected, like head and heart. It's felt.
And again, no agenda. She didn't want anything. She just, was my dad had passed. She just loved connecting with people. Like she was always very social. And so really was fun to walk with her.
On the X and Y plane, chatting with the guys, chatting with the people.
Yeah, and then she'd say, my spirit says, or, I have to share with you something my spirit's telling me right now. I mean, it was both planes, vertical and horizontal, 24/7. But that's how we live. I mean, that is a wonderful way to live.
It is.
And I do think, try it for everybody who's listening for 1 week, that you're just going to turn on the bright lights of your heart. You're going to open up the defenses. You're going to just put some good sunshine out in the world just because you can. And then ask your guides, talk to them out loud. I like to put my headphones on when I'm walking down the street with my phone and talk to my guides, and it appears to the world like I'm on a phone conversation. I'm in a major conversation back and forth. What'd you say? Good idea. Repeat that. That works.
Gotta jot that thought. I know, Lee, as I've mentioned on the podcast, Lee now will be like, are you talking? It's be like, are you talking to me? But now even the tone is different. Are you talking to me? Talking to my guides. Also, one last really quick funny tidbit. So Lane, we have a massage gun and there's a special cord to charge it. He is the only one that uses this thing at all. All right. Gun dies and he comes in and assumes it's me. Assumes it's me. I haven't touched it. And so he comes, he's like, do you know where this is? No. Search the house. Nowhere. Again, I just can't seem to find this thing. And I know that I didn't touch it. And I'm like, okay, well, are you insinuating anything? I didn't touch it. He's like, no, I have a vibe. that you really? Might know where it is. And I'm just like, you little stickeroti. My vibes, my spirit says your spirit is full of BS.
Yes.
I laughed till I cried because he was kind of, looming in the doorway. And I was like, all right, what do you really have to say? He's like, well, my spirit got a vibe. And I'm like, you're just sure. That's your pet. Guess what? Guess where it was? In his cords with all of his stuff. I was like, see, my spirit is right.
Yes.
But I loved it.
He was trying. He was trying to use your language to.
I know. I said, you know what? So you sound like my mom and Nana Sonia. So you sound like my mom and Nana Sonia. You sound like my family when they really did say, words and lines do not align. Does not pass go.
That is not a high vibe. You have a confused vibe. You are confusion vibes.
My goodness.
I do think is a very good tool of the week. I think we should do that as our tool of the week is turn on the lights, scan, be aware, be present, talk to your guides, and talk out loud and whatever is coming across. And if you need help, ask for it always.
Always. Literally. Always. I love that. I love those tools.
It's just a way to live. How could you not do that? It's just like, that's just the way we do. It works.
Who doesn't want help?
I know. Do. All the help.
No strings attached.
All the help. What have you got coming up?
Oh my goodness. Well, I am excited because I'm going to be teaching a manifestation workshop. I have to still nail down the dates. Again, a Zoom late December as a way to just start to plant our seeds of intention. That again will be $20 recorded. So definitely show up on Instagram, get some info. And then I am doing, I have a few spots for mentoring between now and the end of the year. So if you're curious about really moving into ownership and building a life that aligns with you and feels good, guided by your intuition and spirit, book a discovery call with me. And as always, I do soul readings where we can get really clear on your gifts, what's blocking you, and answer specific questions. It's one of my favorite.
Really good during the holidays too, because you're so good at resurrecting the inner child.
Yeah. I am.
That is one of
my
your
favorite
superpowers. So
thanks,
if
Mom.
you're not feeling the spirit of Christmas, you get a soul reading. That will really reset you for sure.
Give your inner child a gift. Give your whole self a gift. Give your spirit a gift.
Give your inner child a gift. That's the good one. That's a good line.
Yeah.
Give your inner child a gift because it's true.
I love it. Well, jot that thought. Well, thank you, guys.
Jot that thought. Thank you, guides. Those are your marketing guides. Thank you, guides.
How about you, Mom? Anything?
Well, I am in the midst of creating my legacy, which is very exciting. You'll hear about it over the next couple months, the end of November, December. I am creating and launching certification training to get some real good fairies out there, training people who are coaches, empaths, intuitives that just want to go to a really high professional level. So I'll just mention it now. There might be a little bit here and there. You might see me mention it on Instagram, YouTube, but just planting the seed and stay tuned. And if you're interested, then you can email certification@soniachoquette.com and just say, put me on the wait list. I'm interested, because I'll have a 3-day wonderful immersion in January that will introduce you to the whole thing. So just certification@soniachoquette.com.
Oh my gosh, I'm so, so, so excited. I know what's even great is I'll be in most of those classrooms with you.
Yes, you will be helping me. And so this is really going to be family legacy passed along. It's going to be a really wonderful, thorough experience. So just putting it out there for now, certification at Sonia Choquette. If that speaks to you and you're curious, put an outreach and we'll put you on the waiting list and keep you informed.
Oh, I love that. Well, now it's time for our beautiful question of the week. If you would like to write us, we would absolutely love to hear from you. You can write us at itsallrelatedpodcastquestions@gmail.com. You can leave comments on YouTube below, or write us, DM us on Instagram. We absolutely love to hear from you. So this week we have a question from our beautiful listener, Jane. Hey crew, Sonia me has mentioned having previous boyfriends she thought she'd marry thankfully did not happen. It might be in a similar dilemma. I kind of feel like it's my karma to have a tough time in relationship and in real intimate relationships with someone. That this is the demons that I must fight with and put up with in my head. I also want to feel clarity that if this one person is meant to be for me or let go, how would I go about that? Any thoughts, Jane?
Well, that's very layered, Jane. So I would say, first of all, I wouldn't certainly plan to spend your life with someone that you don't feel you can be safe to be yourself with. So I would have some basic ground rules, but not all relationships are meant to be lifelong. And I think every relationship brings value, but I don't agree that our karma is ever to suffer someone. But it is an opportunity to look at what you might want to address or recognize, or what pattern you're stuck in that might say, okay, we fight or we argue, we don't get along. Do I need the excitement? Am I trying to change someone? Am I afraid to let someone be close, so I pick unavailable people or argumentative people? So you really have to do some deep dives on this. And I would say don't all or nothing any of it. Just ask yourself, what's our basic struggle? Because there's usually only one or two that keeps repeating. And what can I learn here? And am I willing to learn it? And I think that's usually what I do. I just try to say, what are there's one or two basic issues. What can I learn? And am I willing to learn it? Am I trying to learn that you can't change a person? Am I trying to learn that I don't really like you? I mean, am I learning that you're just familiar, but not necessarily pleasant to be around? Do I feel safe? Just have some regular journaling. I would work with journaling on this, because your guides can come through on journaling and clear up a lot of this confusion and assumption.
Amen. I love all of the different things that you say. I say, Jane, for myself, as you were mentioning, and I think that I find this too with a lot of my clients, students, friends. No matter what, all relationships are going to be imperfect because we're just two people. But on some deeper level, when you get quiet, out of the emotion, you get out of the highs and the lows, there is a knowing of if this relationship is in your highest good. When I think back to my ex, who I really thought I was going to marry, I had this ideal and dream and felt that if I worked hard enough and he did his karma and we could heal, but it was really a fantasy that wasn't rooted in present time. And often when I was quiet in moments, my intuition would tell me just very groundedly, it was not blow up your life or this, it just was, this is incongruent. And change is hard and scary. And we can stay in relationships for a long time because sometimes it can be easier to be comfortable together alone than face the fear of change and opening up ourselves to something that is better and on our level. To say that I have a tough time in intimate relationships, just as you're saying, is very layered, because to have to believe that relationships are really hard isn't true. We can struggle and have to grow, but if it's too hard, it's not working. And sometimes it's not for lack of love or trying or care. It's just too much.
Yeah. I think that Sonia's right. Yeah. Just be quiet and see, am I getting an absolutely yes or a no way at the end of the day? Your body vibration. And we can get addicted to chaos. We can get addicted to struggle and drama. and righteousness and a whole lot of things. But at the end of the day, if you don't feel that this is a person who I really like and feel safe with, then I would say that is not, for whatever reason you're together, I would say long-term life partner, probably not that commitment.
Yeah. Yeah. And this, we should do an episode on this maybe next week because we're out of time. But I was, I actually listen to you not only as my mom, but I genuinely sometimes watch your YouTubes and different things because I am always learning from you. But there was a video that you were talking about, which is, I love how you put this. You said that there's our heart, like our emotional heart, our emotions, and then our high heart, which is out of the 3D that's connected to the 5D. And when it's matters of the heart, like relationships, it can often go to our emotional heart. And so that instead of our high heart. So that's also just as you were speaking of what it made me think of.
Yeah. Hang in there, but mostly not to suffer anybody, but to be good to yourself.
Yeah. You're a treasure.
Good to yourself.
You're here showing up, asking a question.
Yeah. Just know you're lovable. You're beautiful. You don't have to fight for love or struggle or betray yourself or overgive. Just come back to self and ask your relationship guides to come give you a hand to clear this up. They will.
I know they will. Well, my relationship guides are excited that my mom is coming to visit.
Yeah, we'll do a podcast when I'm there.
Mine can't too. Wait. Thank you so much for that beautiful question, Jane. We just love, love, love to hear from you. If you want to write us, it's all related podcast questions at gmail.com. And speaking of relationships, I'm so excited you're coming, Mommy.
Me too. I'll see you in just about, 2 weeks?
Oh my God, it cannot
come great.
Soon enough. Thank you, angels.
Yes, we'll have some fun. We'll have to go try on some colored wigs.
I know. It's on the list. It's on the list. Well, we love you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to rate, subscribe. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Oh, my love. Bye.